Hi guys, welcome to World Cinema Forum. Today we are going to analyze a wonderful Malayalam movie titled Biriyaani. Let's begin. There are those eyes belonging to the actor Kani Kusruti who plays the protagonist Khadija. Her eyes are giant pools of desolation, embedded in the face of a woman who has, it seems, been drained of all feelings. Her empty expressions makes it all the more noticeable when emotions occasionally travels across that otherwise vacant, benumbed countenance. A hint of a fake smile, a flash of genuine warmth, a glimpse of love and longing, terror, and on just one occasion, a storm of grief. Just as the great Indian kitchen's kitchen is a metaphor for patriarchy, in Biriyaani, the titular dish becomes a representation of the human reductively treating fellow humans as lumps of flesh to be used, abused, and discarded, as mere items in a news clipping, as persons of interest in a police investigation, rather than living creatures with sentiments and desires of their own. The graphic opening scene of a sexual encounter between Khadija and her husband Nazir, played by Jayachandran, more explicit than the Indian cinema is used to, sets the tone for the unfeeling treatment that other characters mete out to her through the rest of the narrative. Nazir is not making love to his wife. He is a beast who has mounted the nearest available Homo sapien female, and once he is satiated, is disgusted with her for wanting more. Her act of defiance in that moment captures the core of this woman who is in a very difficult situation but still not entirely dispirited. The heroines of the great Indian kitchen battles patriarchy within her family and among Hindus at large. But in comparison with Khadija, she has a privilege. She is educated, a trained dancer, the daughter of a well-off home who had a relatively liberal upbringing, and most important, she does not face prejudice against her religious community from Indian society as a whole. Khadija in Biriyaani, however, is a symbolic representation of poor women of a social group simultaneously battling injustice against and within the fold. She was born into poverty. She was pulled out of the school after class 10 for marriage to an older man, not of her choice. Her mother-in-law is contemptuous of her father being a fisherman, and she is a Muslim. Her religious identity is significant in the context of the Islamophobia currently pervading India. But she could well be a member of any community under siege. Sajin Baabu is brave and wise not to defy the marginalized, but to hold a mirror up to everyone involved and underline the inconvenient truth that as a woman, Khadija is targeted by those on both sides of the religious divide. In Jairaj's Hasyam, which had its world premiere at the International Film Festival of Kerala 2021, every human being is a potential cadaver in the eyes of the central figure who is a supplier of bodies to a private medical college. In Biriyaani, in a vastly different context, Khadija too is just a body to many of those she encounters. And whether she is Nimisha Sajan's character in The Great Indian Kitchen or Khadija in Biriyaani, across communities, the woman, as maid, as housemaid, cook and caregiver, is easily replaceable and seen as interchangeable with other women. The consequent eroticization of community is arguably epitomized in this film by a scene in which a man is shown excited at the prospect of having sex with a hijabi woman for the first time. She may belong to a community that is currently reviled across the country and perhaps by him too, but at the end of the day, for him, she is just a piece of flesh. The all-pervasive Indian disdain towards Muslims and women in general, but Muslim women in particular, is illustrated here by news TV debates, with the media roping in commentators, some biased and some well-intentioned, to speak both the groups instead of soliciting views of the likes of Khadija, who are being discussed. A lone journalist seeks out Khadija's side of her story. She is an example of the rare flashes of decency the heroine encounters along her path. There are others. Sajin Baabu's script does not damn everyone with the same brush. The Muezzin, played by Surjit Gopinath, for one, comes as a reminder that desires of the flesh do not reduce every human to inhumanity, and even the cold-hearted predatory system includes two law enforcement officials played by Anil Nirmagad and S. Devendranath, who momentarily soften up on hearing the condition of Khadija's mother. The sex scenes in Biriyaani is not designed to titillate. They are functional, feelingless, and animalistic. They are not difficult to watch though, unlike certain other parts of Biriyaani in which flesh and blood are displayed in the most unexpected fashion. Shot with no apologies, yet no gratuitously by Director of Photography, Karthik Muthukumar. Despite the challenge of seeing those portions, it is impossible to look away. Sajin Baabu, who earlier made Astamayam Vare and Ayal Shashi, is credited with Biriyaani, a sound design in addition to the writing and direction. Indeed, the sound of the film is crucial, compelling, and intricate, especially in the transition that takes place in the finale when we realize that a fantasy role reversal from being the exploited to the exploiter may yield physical pleasure but remains emotionally unrewarding. Those eyes, they're still empty. In an interview in 2019, Sajin Baabu described Biriyaani as a revenge drama. This description bothers me because the film does not come across as such. Revenge dramas like 22 Female Kottayam and Pudhiya Niyamam represent a socio-cultural idealization of women, victims and survivors of violence and a widespread disinterest in regular women. The cinematic ideal mirrors a real world in which an Indian woman who died following a gang rape in 2012 was nicknamed Nirbhaya by the media, as if building an image of her as the fearless one was necessary to generate empathy for her, and as if to suggest that a woman who felt bhaya in the way any normal woman would in her situation was unworthy of the national attention she received. A single act of vendetta that Khadija indulges in does veer in that direction and deviate from the natural progression of her character in the rest of the film. But since the tone of Biriyaani neither romanticizes and glorifies the particular deed, nor is the element of focal point of the script, for me at least, the film does not fall in the same category as 22 Female Kottayam, Pudhiya Niyamam and other Indian language films that revolve entirely around the rapes. My debate with the filmmaker's own choice of words notwithstanding Biriyaani is too convincing, observant and powerful to be reduced to this one deed by Khadija. And the aftermath of that episode is too nuanced to be viewed one-dimensionally. Besides, there is Kani Kusruti. Her performance as Khadija has rightfully earned multiple awards in India and abroad, including the prestigious Kerala State Film Award for the Best Actress 2020. Kani's speaking eyes are as potent as the story. That's the end of the video, guys. Please do subscribe our channel if you are liking the content that we are bringing to you. Thank you. God bless you.